5 Windrider 17s pulled off the beach at Tufts Bay on Saturday, July 8th, 2017, and began the 5th annual Elbow Run. There were a few little glitches that often happen at the start of any event, but Lake Diefenbaker stretched out in front of us and a brisk wind propelled us forward. Remembering past rainbows round the sun in my own life, I accepted this one as an auspicious sign foretelling another great week of sailing and camping. The Elbow Run 2017 had taken flight. We had been underway for some time when Daryl came up behind me. I commented on his sun protection, and he proceeded to demonstrate not only his impersonation of Mary Poppins, but also his new secret sail that would give him a power boost and send him to the front of the pack.
And it was good, really good to see Dave Fischel show up. He wasn't really expected, and there he was, and so that was good. And kind of looking forward to seeing Dave and his McGregor out there next year. We'll see how that all goes. Another great sailing trip on Lake Diefenbaker. We were approximately 7 days. We did about 125 kilometers one way, and it was roughly 155 miles round trip. We had perfect weather, no big storms that caught us like the years before, and we had enough wind every day to sail.
This is the 5th year for the Elbow Run, and with it came some changes. In the past, we've made the run exclusively with Windrider trimarans.
We had an addition of a hobby cat with us. Excellent couple. Lots of fun. They did some fishing in the evenings, and always seemed to catch enough fish for supper for them.
The Elbow Run is becoming more diversified and inclusive, positive attributes that we hope will be the norm for future events.
Yeah, it's pretty fun. You know, like I said, I think about it a lot throughout the year. It's just good thoughts. Eh?
I had a blast. I mean, a whole bunch of people came together, helped me out wherever I needed to be helped out, and I was able to take part of it. I didn't get through all of it, but I was able to take through part of it. And for me, what did I like about it? I loved the camaraderie. I loved the fact that we had an incredible sail that first day. I mean,
on day 3, we said goodbye to Dave. We were sad to see him leave us, but he had other commitments that forced him to cut his Elbow Run short. We wished him fair winds as he turned back, and we continued on.
I loved everything about the Elbow Run. The people, the camaraderie, and just the sailing and being with nature. And who would have known that we would have made that whole distance in one day? Like, I mean, we were flying. We were having fun. We were having fun with a lot of guys that just had a lot of fun. Like, for me, I found this year being an incredible year of discovery. But I had a serious accident when I was traveling in Thailand. And for me, it wasn't bad. It's just one of those things that happen. I mean, life goes on. I mean, I'm here today, and I'm hoping to be here for many more years. But in saying that, when you have an event that happens to you, you realize how important life is, and you realize how important the little things are, and you realize how important it is to have those moments, being able to be, you know, out in the wind, sailing, doing all those different things, being with people you really enjoy being with, and meeting new people. And again, this year we met new people, and I think that's amazing.
Late in the afternoon, we came ashore at the Prairie Lake Regional Park to stretch our legs. We were greeted by a gentleman who had been admiring us as we approached. He suggested we choose as our overnight campsite a ravine that we had just passed. We investigated his recommendation, only to learn that the beaches on the ravine were muddy and not at all suited to our needs. However, around the next corner, still within sight of the regional park, we did find a beach that would work, and soon we were set for the night. A rainbow reminded us of our good fortune to be sailing on such a great lake.
We talked about sailing on Lake Diefenbaker. That's South Sask River. That's probably the best place to do something like that. It's every turn gives you a new experience, a new challenge. You know, you think you're running out of wind, you turn the next bend in the river, and it's a totally different story. It's always changing. And to do it for, you know, all day for the week like that, rather than the difference between that and just your normal day sailing weekend out at the cabin.
A cloudy sky marked the start of day 4. We scooted by the Prairie Lake Regional Park and the Herbert Ferry Regional Park, located on the opposite shore. A decent wind moved us through the morning, but started to die off close to noon, and the sky grew darker. A storm was building, and nearby lightning convinced us to get off the lake to let it pass. The shore break gave us a chance to converse and eat lunch. When the rain seemed stalled in the distance, we climbed back on board and continued. Daryl and I had been looking forward to this day. We were thinking back to 2014. That was the year we first saw the geographic formation that we dubbed the Tower.
Going past the tower this time, you know, usually it's this magnificent landmark that you see miles down the lake. Yeah, I sailed past it this time and it was practically gone, like 6-8 feet out of the water, and that was it. All eroded away.
Erosion of the hills forming the South Saskatchewan River Valley has created surprising features on the shores of Lake Diefenbaker. That year, as Daryl and I sailed beyond Prairie Lake Regional Park towards Saskatchewan Landing, we sailed by something towering above the lake. It was quite amazing. A column of clay that had been cut away from the adjoining hillside and stood there at least 25 feet above the top of our masts, with water all around it. Three years had dramatically diminished our tower.
It's the last we're going to see the tower, for sure. That's so it kind of made me sad.
Our disappointment was overshadowed by our enhanced respect for the power of the river that still is the heart of Lake Diefenbaker. This time in history has been termed by some to be the Anthropocene, to reflect, quote, the significant human impact on the Earth's geology and ecosystems, including, but not limited to, anthropogenic climate change, unquote. Lake Diefenbaker provides us with a clear example of the way in which mankind has had an impact on the planet. The lake is more correctly a reservoir, which was formed in the late 1950s and early 60s when dams were constructed on the South Saskatchewan River. The water level in the reservoir fluctuates in response to a combination of factors, including the amount of annual snowpack in the mountains that feed the river and the amount of water that is removed from it for agriculture, irrigation, and for water supply in nearby towns and cities. The changing water levels have caused the considerable erosion that is very evident on the hills that form the South Saskatchewan River Valley. Natural erosion took millions of years to carve out the valley, and in 50 years that rate of erosion has increased dramatically. Sailing solo for hours leaves time for reflection.
It was quite interesting. Heard lots of guys comment about, like, you know, just the vastness of the place. It'd be really one of them places you could get off the grid, and it was pretty neat.
I live on Lake Diefenbaker, and I really enjoy the lake. I'm out there as much as I possibly can. Fishing's good, and the lake is a lot of fun.
At the close of the day, we calculated we were within 15 kilometers of Saskatchewan Landing, near the westernmost part of the lake. This marked the furthest that the Elbow Run has taken us, and sets the challenge for next year to complete the remainder of the distance. There are many aspects of the Elbow Run that I enjoy. One of them is watching others sail their boats. They do so with great skill and with their own unique and personal flair, occasionally with a bit of unexpressed fear, but always with sheer enjoyment of working with the wind. This year, 2 members of our group added the much larger Rave mainsails to their sail inventory. Rick and Brent changed back and forth between the stock and the Rave main depending on wind conditions. The Rave mainsail is a boomless laminate sail designed to be used on Windrider's foiling trimaran, the Wave.
What about that Rave sail?
Oh, that's a blast. I mean, that was the exciting thing for me this last year was, like I said, Rob and the people there at Windrider, they got me the parts for the rigging to get that up like an hour before I left for Elbow. So yeah, I was pretty excited to get that up, and then with Rick having one too, yeah, it was pretty exciting. It was a blast. That sail is awesome. Yeah, it brings back memories of when I had the Wraith.
I'll bet.
just to see it up there, yeah.
When used on the Wind Rider 17, the Rave sail increases the sail area by 30% and its power by at least that much. It is rumored that Wind Rider says only idiots will use it. I'm not suggesting that Rick and Brent are idiots, quite the opposite. These two each demonstrated their considerable sailing abilities in strong and gusting winds as we headed home. It was sheer pleasure to watch them handling their boats.
Tried the new sail. The Rave sail was something else.
It really changes the performance of the boat a lot, that's for sure.
Sure give you a little kick in the pants when you got some wind behind you. But lots of fun.
The most unexpected events can happen on the Elbow Run.
There was that night where Moldy's boat was parked over here, clanking away all night, and suddenly it's 150 yards down there, and everybody's like, well, who moved it, right? Well, nobody moved it, right? It just
moved itself.
left the bay and went back over there. So that was really weird.
With 5 years of experience on the lake, many features are becoming familiar to us, including Rusty's Marina, the Palliser Regional Park, and the Riverhurst Ferry. Another feature from an earlier Elbow Run is Bird Island. In 2013, Daryl got some great video clips as he sailed around it, startling the island's aquatic birds of various types and in considerable numbers. Pelicans, gulls, and cormorants, all attracted to the fish farm on the opposite shore of the lake. seemed fitting that our last campsite for 2017 was our first one in 2013, Hitchcock's Bay. It is a beautifully sheltered little cove within sight of Hitchcock's hideout.
Actually did like the length of the lake, which is really cool. It's something you and I had talked about practically every time we've been on the lake, so that was neat. I'm not sure the total distance we went, just in the one direction, but it was phenomenal.
Strong and gusty winds provided us with an exciting beam reach all the way back to Tufts Bay. It was an exhilarating romp and a wonderful way to bring the week to a close. In the 5 years we have done the Elbow Run, it was by far the fastest time we have ever covered the distance between Hitchcock's Bay and Tufts Bay.
Yeah, I went a whole week without a motor. Wasn't an issue. That was pretty good. Pretty good. Usually on the last day, for whatever reason, we have to struggle on the way in. And this year, it was crazy. Lots of wind. Actually, I had to slow it down myself. And
there you have it, folks, the Elbow Run 2017. And guess what? The talk is already about the next one.
Hope we have a better turnout next year with more boats. Apparently there'll be a few different makes and models for next year, which is the plan. Again, hope we get the wind we had this year. It was an excellent trip. We could have made another 15 kilometers to get to the end of the lake, or not. The next port would have been Sask Landing.
what about next year? Well, I hope it goes a lot like this year and some of our old friends come back. You know, we missed 3 or 4 people this year that usually come out, and I sure hope they come out next time.
You know what I've learned, you know, with sailing with you guys and just doing this Elbow Run, is it's really the journey. It's the journey that counts, and you know, we all wonder, you know, what's going to happen tomorrow, or what's going to, you know, how is the wind going to be, or whether how far we're going to go down the river or down the lake, and how far we're going to sail. But really, it's a journey, and you know, we don't know what tomorrow's going to bring. I found out, you know, very quickly when I was in Thailand how fast that can change. And you don't know your journey, but you know, if you can take every day and have fun with it, and enjoy yourself doing those things that you enjoy most. And I absolutely enjoy sailing with you guys. I think that it's important that we never forget that it's important to live now and not into the future or live in the past.
Things about the elbow in general, I mean, it just makes me smile. Every time I think about it, it just makes me smile. It's, you know, all year long I think about it, on and off, just because it's a pretty good feeling to think about the experience. So yeah, there's not a lot I would change about what we do. Incorporate other people and stuff like that, but no, it's a blast. So
It's always a pleasure to go sailing with this group, and I look forward to it every year. And if you're in the area, give me a call. We could. It's open to anyone who wants to come out, bring their wives, dogs, friends, whatever you like, cat if you like.
Well, you heard the guys. It's on again next year. If you want to join us, get in touch.